Okay, so it seems like there's been an update in terms of the next phase of Filian's hiatus, or whatever you want to call it, right? And well, this has been a very interesting one, because if you don't know, we've been looking at the Wall, which is a website set up as like a kind of phase thing, where, yeah, it seems like it's all going to count down to Filian coming back. And the Wall is essentially a place like r/place over on Reddit, where you can kind of contribute your own images and kind of draw things and whatnot. So again, of course, this was then announced that it was going to be appearing at Shibuya Crossing in Japan, and there was also another advert which we found, which Filian was actually heard, I guess, on it. But it seems like the Wall has come to an end now with this, post that has come up saying, "Thank you for playing, BRB," and this comes from the Wall Twitter account here saying, "By the way, have no fear, we baited the griefers. The Wall actually closed 5 to 6 minutes before we said it would. Rest assured, your artwork is safe. The mess that appeared in the last few minutes is meaningless." So apparently some people tried to grief it right at the very end to kind of ruin essentially a lot of the work that people have been kind of doing. But as they said, they actually baited them and closed it 5 to 6 minutes beforehand. So all of the artwork that was on there that was left ungriefed is actually on there, and all of the kind of griefers ended up just getting baited, which I think is great, right? Because of course, I don't know if that comes from people that just hate Filian, or it just comes from people just being a little bit childish, I guess. But as we know, as I said, this is supposed to go up in Shibuya Crossing. Of course, some people, I guess, wanted to get in there and try and ruin it, because again, if they don't have a good piece of artwork to put up there, well, it's just not going to look very good, is it? So yeah, of course, they managed to bait them, so that's all fine. So if you did see that, then that's, not a problem. And they're saying, "We are deploying some changes to keep the Wall's final form viewable in the next 24 hours before getting everything ready for the Billboard. You will still be able to chat and hang out there. The Wall will reopen soon after. Thank you to everyone who's worked so hard for phase 1 and 2. You made it a fun and special experience for everyone, including us. The phase 1 top 10 leaderboard holders will be reached out to this week, with their awards being mailed to them. Lots of big things coming." So yeah, that's essentially what they're saying. Now again, we weren't so sure on whether this was going to be an instant thing, whether the Wall was instantly going to be coming up on Shibuya Crossing. That is not the case. It is it's going to be like a little bit until we see it actually kind of appear on a billboard there. Now again, I don't know how long this is going to be, whether it's going to be a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, I don't know. I'm assuming a couple weeks, I guess, but of course I have zero clue. And yeah, the website is like that now. If you go to it, it says, "Time is up, the Wall is closed. Whatever you have drawn until this point will be put on a billboard at Shibuya Crossing. The Wall will reopen in a few days. Sit tight, we're just exporting some data from the billboard." If you click dismiss, you can actually go through and look at everything that has been included on the billboard. So this is the final version of the billboard, right? So again, it's going to look pretty crazy. Obviously, a lot of Neurosummer, a lot of Filian. You can see Pippa there. So again, very, very cool. Obviously, pregnant Filian down there, of course. We won't stay around that one for too long. But again, so many different cool designs and whatnot. So again, it does look very, very nice. And I think that, yeah, this is going to be the final thing that we will see, being displayed on a billboard in Japan. Now, again, I don't know how long this is going to be up there for, whether it's going to be literally like 10 seconds like the Filian advert was, or whether it's going to be up there for longer. I don't know. But I'm assuming something will come after that in terms of like the ARG, like in terms of like Filian might come back, or Filian might see this or whatever. In terms of the story, of course, I know that, she probably has already seen this and she's probably behind this, right? But, in terms of the story, it's the whole thing is that she's lost and that people are trying to send out signals to try and get her back, right? And I'm assuming this is going to be the signal that might, start, kickstart maybe a return. I don't know. I have zero clue what's going to be next. I wasn't really expecting an event like this in the first place. So again, we can only guess, what will happen in terms of the hiatus of Filian. But as I said in the last video, some people were getting frustrated with like how long this is taking and stuff, and I can definitely understand that. You know, I think that if there is some other phase after this that is going to take a while, whatever, and you know, there's no actual real progress on like Filian returning, or like a date that she's going to return or something like that, I think people will start to get a little bit more restless and a little bit more angry, just because they just want her back, right? They don't really care about all of this stuff anymore. They just want you know, Filian to return. So yeah, obviously that might, you know, cause some things. So I'm hoping that after this, and after the billboard does go up, that we do have some kind of news, even if it is, as I said, just like a date, just be like, hey, you know, she's coming back on this date or whatever, or like a mystery date. I don't know, but that would be probably the best case scenario, I would say. And obviously the worst case scenario would be we go into another phase, and yeah, people are going to be pretty mad about that one. Saying, awaiting, thank you for the wall. So the wall. So not gonna lie, you should have sent a poster for to people for phase 2. It was essentially the same event, and the leaderboard was still there. A lot of people brought their A game with phase 2, since it was literally the same event. I don't know, it feels like you should have done something for people. Plus, you guys added days too. So I don't know, you do you. A lot of people thought it was for both phases. So yeah, obviously there was like 2 phases of the wall that people could contribute to. Obviously that's the first one, which I think was more like the testing phase. I think they were trying to figure out like whether this worked and everything was like in kind of order before they did the actual like official one, because of course the first one isn't going up on Shibuya Crossing, whereas this one is. I think it was just like kind of a testing phase. And obviously, yeah, they say a lot of people, you know, brought out their A game for the first one, but again, it is kind of not pointless, but you know, it's just like, you know, it's not going to get shown anywhere, right? And people don't have a copy of it unless they took a screenshot saying. So the second phase really was exactly the same as the first. This is that's lame's hope phase 3 isn't some more. So yeah, as I said, you know, people are going to get restless if there is more that goes on after this. Saying, please let it not have been griefed. Yeah, her hairpin was so cute. Saying, I was here for the summer spray canvas event. Saying, ends at 10 p.m. MST, looks aside, ends at 9:55 MST. Thanks for not making it a 6 to 7 minutes. I mean, that's, yeah. Thank God it was saved before it all went down. I was here for the Filian spray canvas event. So it seems that that's becoming a meme now as well. Saying, bless you for not forgetting the posters. I'm sorry for ever doubting y'all. That I can't chat and hang out. It's in a single player mode. Saying, now why are they doing another wall for where the heck is the debut? Or at least some more teasers with a voice. So again, lots of people asking where phase like 3 is going to be, or where like Filian's going to be. Again, we don't know. It's just going to be one of those things where you're going to have to wait. And again, you know, as I said, the longer the people wait, the more the people get restless. But, you know, obviously this phase has now ended. So hopefully that does mean that we are going to get moving, and that maybe we're going to get some kind of announcements or some kind of, you know, teaser or whatever announced in that kind of sense. Because as I said, we already had a little bit of a teaser with the whole Filian advert in Shibuya, the one before the wall, of her voice being heard across Shibuya. But apart from that, that's about all that we have based on that, right? But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.